Hello, Stitchy friends. Welcome to my channel. This is a FlossTube video all about cross stitching. My name is Joanne and I am the Eclectic Stitcher. Welcome. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and checking me out. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Today is Saturday, October 11th, 2025. And so I've been busy stitching. I wanted to come to you and kind of show you my progress on what I've been doing, talk a little bit about some of the retreats that I've attended, some of the retreats that are coming up, and just chat with you for a few minutes. So let's get started. So let's talk about retreats. A couple of weekends ago, Lindy Stitches, Steph, she hosted the Harvest Moon. It is an online retreat and it lasts usually for 2.5 days. If you've never been to one of Lindy Stitches' online retreats, I highly recommend it. The next one coming up is Jingle Ball and it'll be the first weekend in December. So check her out. I will link her below in my the drop down box below. So check her out. I also attended Annabella's pop-up retreat. Annabella's is a designer, Elaine, and her daughter. They are a designer. She also has a shop, I think it's in North Carolina. And she does all kinds of retreats, but she does pop-up retreats kind of seasonally. And they're usually one-day retreat. They usually last for about 6 or 7 hours. They're very inexpensive. And it's a way to stitch with other people. And she does all kinds of, things. She'll do games and she'll do, prizes. You go into rooms. So it's really neat. I actually attended her very first pop-up retreat a couple years ago, and then I haven't been back since then, and so I thought, hey, let me check it out. I thought it was great. She has a Christmas one coming up the weekend after Jingle Ball. I haven't decided if I'm going to attend it, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. I do have a retreat coming up, which is here in my local area. Crafty Framers, which is in Largo, Florida. They are my LNS, my local needle shop. They're about 2 hours drive for me one way. They do what's called FAST, which is Friends All Stitching Together. They've been doing this for many, many years. And she kind of does, I think, 2 a year. That's coming up on the 25th of October. That'll go for a few hours. It's a one-day retreat. And there's usually 75 people at this retreat. But it's great. It's nice. I always look forward to doing those. So that's retreat update pretty much. Hopefully I didn't go through that too fast. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is below. My Instagram, Joanne the Eclectic Stitcher. Let me know if you have any questions. So those are events. Don't really have a whole lot. Just want to kind of show you my WIPs and show you what I have. I do want to share Happy Mail. Just Keep Stitching. Pam and Steph did a giveaway on their channel recently, and I won. Yay! It's always nice to win charts and cute things, and send me a nice little card. But I won this monthly mini village August by Country Cottage Needleworks. Let's see, make sure it's a cute little chart. I would probably stitch that and not use the word August. So her theme was beach days. And then I won Beach Days by Melanie Lightsoul. She is the Cozy Cottontail. And I just thought this was really cute. Hoping you can see that. My light is kind of too much. So thank you, Pam and Steph. I know they don't watch me, but that's okay. I can still say thank you. So that's really my only Happy Mail. So let's get to WIPs. This first WIP, which by the way, if you're new here or you're new to FlossTube, WIPs are works in progress. So this WIP is actually a new start. I've talked before that I am in a Discord group, and we do events and we do stitch alongs or start alongs really. And so this is one of the start alongs that we started in October 1st. And it's Halloween hijinks. This is Carolyn Manning Designs. And actually this month we're going to be starting a monthly designer stitch. I don't want to call it event, but every month we're going to pick a designer that we want to stitch for the month, and so we're going to kind of work on stuff for the designer. So this month is Carolyn Manning, and so Carolyn Manning month is one thing because you can stitch anything Carolyn Manning, and then Halloween hijinks is another. It's an actual start along, if you know what I mean. I am behind, so the idea is to stitch a square a day. I've got 2 squares and they're not even complete. I did not fully kit this just because time went too fast for me, but I do have most of the flosses, but there's some flosses missing here that I need to get, and I couldn't stitch this little pumpkin guy because I don't have the colors for that. Could I pick my own colors? Sure. Excuse me. But I thought, well, I'll just start stitching and we'll go from there. Obviously, I'm behind. Today is the 11th, so I should have 11 squares done, and I have 3 that are half done. So, what can I say? But that's Halloween hijinks. I'm actually going to be stitching on this today and soon with the girls on Discord. I am stitching this on a 16 count Ada color pewter, and I am just stitching this with DMC colors. This next WIP, surprisingly enough, people can't believe when I tell them this. Its translation is between dog and wolf, but this is a long dog samplers. And Crafts and Books created an event on January 1st, 2024 to start working on a long dog sampler chart. So I went on their website, and as you know, Long Dog Samplers has some really big charts, lots of stuff, but I went into their website and I found this, which I thought, well, I can do this. This is simple enough. It's not a normal Long Dog Sampler that you're used to seeing, but I thought this is kind of cool. I also bought another one that has like a deer, and it's kind of the same idea, a deer and some things around it, things like that. So it's pretty cool. So I worked on this. I'm stitching this on a 28 count Lugana by Atomic Ranch Fabrics in the colors Wild Mint. You really can't, well, you probably can tell, but it's very minty. It's green. It's got a lot of modeling. And since my last video, I worked on this and I finished the wolf. I was kind of like right here when I first started, and I just finished that. That was a lot of black. I am going to move down, but I really want to start stitching some of these motifs. To me, if I stay on something like that for a long time, I get bored. So I am going to probably, when I pick this up again, I am probably going to go here or here and just start. To me, if I start stitching little things around the piece, makes me feel better about the stitching. And I'm also stitching this, so when we started the start along for Long Dog Samplers, my friend Deborah also liked this chart, so she picked it up, and so her and I are kind of stitching this particular Long Dog Sampler together. So that's kind of nice when you have somebody else doing it with you. This next one is the Stitching Parliament, or I call it the Stitching Owl. This is by Hands On Design, and this came from the Superb Owl, which was another Lindy's Stitches online retreat. And I started this First of all, he's really cute. The last thing, since I last shown it, I finished this area here. Now I still have to, there's a lot of white. This is all white, but I have to stitch it. Um, but I finished the owl's face, and then I had to stitch that scissor. I just thought that was really cute. He looks really cute. But I started this in September for Jen's fiber web. Jen is wanted to do a stitch along, which she calls which is hashtag gonna be owl right Sal. And so because I had this owl chart, I thought, oh, I'm going to stitch this for her stitch along. And I'm just stitching this on an 18 count white Aida. Nothing special. This next one, I started stitching for this Discord group as well. We did in August, we started a Biscornu event where we were going to learn how to put a Biscornu together. I've never stitched a Biscornu, and I thought, hey, this will be a great opportunity for me to do a Biscornu. The event ended in September, and as you can see, I did not finish the Biscornu. This is a lot of stitching. Had I realized that it was going to take a long time, somebody warned me later on, oh, Teresa Kogut's, her Biscornus, they have a lot of stitching. But I had this kitted up. This is Willow and Finn Biscornu. And I had it kitted. This I got from the Acorns and Threads Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit last year, I believe. Yes, 2024. It was one of our kitted projects that we received. And so since I had this, I thought, well, I'll just start it. You know, I have 2 months to stitch it and get it done. That's all I've gotten done. And I'll tell you what, these flowers are no joke. Because they're not the same. Each petal is stitched differently. Each flower, I mean, you think that you can copy what you did here. No, this is no joke. So that's why that flowers left half done, because when I was stitching these, I was like, okay, I'm done. But these raccoons are really cute. I'll continue to work on this because I do want to finish it, and we'll see when it'll be done. I don't know. But it was fun participating in the event and at least seeing what other people do. But I should have been more smarter and just stitched something simple. There's so many simple Biscornis out there, but no. I picked my first Biscorni, this big thing that it's just going to take a while to finish. But that's okay. I am a process stitcher. I am okay with stitching and stitching and stitching. If I don't finish it in time, I'm okay with that. So I worked on this next WIP. I worked on, this is a big one, American Stitch House by Chessie and me. Crafty Framers was going to have a class on how to help us put these together just like it shows here. I didn't have enough time to finish it, so I did not participate in the class, but I thought, I'm going to still stitch it. I bought the chart, I got the materials, I'm going to stitch it, and then I can worry about finishing it later. And this last time I worked on it, I got the flag done and then added some more of that. I am stitching this on a 25 count Lugana by Yarn Tree, and the color is Mushroom. And I'm using the floss that I'm using. I just converted my own floss to Sullivan's. I did not want to use hand-dyed floss because to me, when you have letters and you have small stitches, your variegation doesn't really show up. So I just converted into Sullivan's. Just kind of pick whatever colors I wanted that matched the picture, and that's what I did. Shouldn't take me too much longer to stitch that. I just have to stitch more letters. Letters go really fast. And then stitch these. I can probably get this done in a day. I have to do that on this side, and then the rest is just letters and borders. And I do stitch my borders as when I pick it up, I'll add more to the border. I don't just sit there and stitch border in one sitting. This next WIP was a gift that I received from my friend Shelly. Her and I met at a retreat in 2023. And last year she attended the retreat. I was not able to attend the retreat. And her table mates decided they were going to do this as a start along. And she had an extra kit and she sent it to me. So I've been stitching on this. This is by Christine Ashley of Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. I'm stitching this on a 16 count Aida color black, and I'm just using DMC color. When I picked this up, the only thing I had stitched was these two letters. So I put a lot of work into this. Now I will tell you, really can't tell in the picture, but this is all blue. But the call for actually shows up more purple. And I'm not sure, and it's very dark purple. I'm not sure that I'm going to continue with that purple. I'm going to see if I can find a blue or maybe like a hand-dyed blue that I can use for that. Because I really like the colors that's on the pictures, but this is very purple. I don't know why it turned out like that. This next chart, WIP, I've been working on this for a long time. I am almost done with it. One of these days, I'm just going to pick it up and just finish it. This is one of my favorites. I don't know why. It's always been one of my favorites. It's called Magical Forest by Katarina, who's the Stitching Princess. She is from the UK. And I started this back in 2022. And I just purchased this chart to support her during the Ukraine and Russia war in 2022. She was in one of the groups that I follow or that I'm a part of. And when she started posting, that's when I got to meet her. She's always putting out new things and just asking people to, help support her. They're going through a tough time there. When I picked this up, I finished this here and I moved up here. I stitched that. I do believe I stitched this as well. And yes, I did realize that I have not stitched this little dog. Yes, there's supposed to be another dog right here, just like this one. And when I went to put it away, I realized that I hadn't stitched it. And I was like, huh. When you take a picture to post on social media, and I look at my picture and I'm like, something doesn't look right. So I had not realized it, but yes, I do know I'm missing that dog, so he will get stitched next time I pick this up. But I don't have but this side left. I have 2 more boxes and then just some stuff there. So will it be a finish this year? I don't know. I have so many WIPs that I want to stitch on, and I like to give each WIP some love. So I don't know when that one will come back around. This next one is by Jardin Privé, Petite Monnaie de l'été. Yes, I don't speak French, but this is the summer. There's 4, she has all 4 seasons. I do have all 4 seasons, but I started with the summer. And I'm stitching this on a 25 count Lugana color white. Now, as you can see, my fabric is really big. The reason for that is when I was going to start to stitch this, usually I stitch 2/2 on 25 count Lugana. But something told me to do it 1/1. So that's what I'm doing, 1/1. So it's really small. And actually, had I known that it was going to be that small, I would have probably stitched it on this side and I could have stitched the other one here. But so be it is what it is. So when I last picked it up, I stitched, some more of this border. I stitched this guy here. And I think I finished some more of this flower here. I really like stitching on this. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot left, but there's still quite a bit of stitching. I still have some stuff to stitch up here, and then of course the bottom part. But I like this. I like stitching. I like stitching on all my stuff. Usually. I do have some WIPs that I have a hard time with, but usually I like stitching my stuff. So my last WIP, this is Huga Holiday by Kathy of Hands On Design. In collaboration with Nicole Spohr, she came up with this chart and they did a stitch along to start on, sorry about that, I had an alarm going off. They did a stitch along in July of 2024, and so I thought this was a cute chart. Of course, I did not keep up with the sale. When I picked this up, I worked some more on this tree. Now, let me tell you, this tree is a heck of a tree. I still have to fill in those white areas. As you can see, I didn't finish because by the time I got here, I had to move on to something else. So I stitched all this down here. So I put a lot of work in it, but that tree just, it's about killed me. You know, you kind of get boring, so I have to move around when I stitch on stuff sometimes. I am stitching this on a 16 count Ada by Atomic Ranch Fabrics, and the color is Vanilla Cream, and I am using the Sullivans for this. I am using the called for DMC colors, but I'm doing Sullivan. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. Hey, less than 25 minutes. This is great. I couldn't ask for anything better than that. I really like to do short videos. I know that there's a lot of FlossTubers out there who you want to watch. I have to catch up on FlossTube. I think this morning I added some more videos to my watch later list, and I'm up to like 34. So I do catch up. It may take me about a week to catch up, but by the time I catch up, then I've got all these videos to add. So I'm going to catch up. I'm going to stitch today. I'm going to work on Halloween hijinks, get on Discord, stitch with the girls, and just stitch and have fun. I'm going on a work trip next week, so I am hunkered down this weekend to get ready for that. I will have my stitchy stuff with me. It's like a mini vacation for me, 4 days and at a hotel by the beach. It's going to be fun. I am going to be in meetings, it's a conference, but after all that's done, I can just relax. Get away from my kid, from my daughter, my cat. No, I'm just kidding. But it will be a vacation for me. I like to get away from time to time and just relax, Even though I'll be working, I will be able to relax and just stitch and just do whatever. So thank you for watching. I don't want to keep rambling on. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stitch all the things. Happy stitching. Bye.